Okay, our topic today, nice girls finish second. Only a few weeks ago, when we had our great debate in Canberra, everybody was talking about this image. Can Julia Gillard come first and stay nice? If you were reading the Daily Telegraph earlier this week, you would have seen this image. Is Gail Kelly from Westpac with yet more growth in profits an example of evidence that you can indeed come first and be a tremendously nice girl? Our topic is nice girls finish second. And our first speaker for the affirmative is Mia Freedman.
I worked as an executive at Channel 9, which you may and may not know, which possibly makes me a stupid girl, and certainly a rare girl, but not a nice one. Enough said about that. In my former life as a magazine editor, I did many not nice things. I once published nude photographs of Brad Pitt, taken without his knowledge when he was on holidays. That wasn't very nice. We stand before you today to argue a very basic and obvious point, that nice girls finish second, because they do, obviously. So what does nice actually mean? Well, in alphabetical order: acceptable, amiable, becoming, commendable, congenial, conforming, considerate, courteous, dandy, fair, fine and dandy, friendly, genial, good-natured, helpful, hunky-dory, ingratiating, kind. Are you asleep yet? We're halfway. Maybe boring should be in there. Lovely, mild, nifty, okay, peachy, pleasant, polite, respectable, spiffy, virtuous, well-mannered and wet. Okay, that one was mine, that last one. Gee, don't they sound like ways in which you'd like to be described? Nice won't get you the corner office. Nice gets you second place, not a place in history. Just ask Marion from MasterChef. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mia Freedman. Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker for the negative team is Dr. Kathy Foley.
First of all, let's have a look at what is the definition of nice. I think that Mia has been using the internet too much. In fact, when I look up my dictionary, it says that being nice can be dainty, excessively fastidious and easily disgusted. So I think, yes, Mia is a really nice girl. Let's give her a clap for Mia. But then I actually went through and thought there's other things too. For example, I thought it was Nice girls, you know, the ones in France. And Julia Gillard, well, we all know if you're on the front page of the Women's Weekly, well, that too makes sure you are really nice. But then, as soon as she wasn't nice, we started to see something really, really different. And maybe it didn't go so well for her after all. So, being a very good scientist, I actually went through and did a major survey. And I went through and interviewed every person I know. This is a graph, just to let you know, on the rising part here, the y-axis, is the number of people I interviewed. And if you see on the legend down the side there, I invited my Joey little 6- and 7-year-olds, my family, my staff above and below, and that's my colleagues, and just about every person, including all the scientists in Australia, to rank me as whether they thought I was nasty, which is a 0, to being nice. And surprisingly enough, they all said, to my face, that was really nice. And so on the basis of that, I think that therefore in my case study, I can say that I am really nice. And so if you say that, you actually have to go through and by being nice, become the winner of everything. For example, the first woman president of the Australian Institute of Physics, the first woman researcher in my laboratory, the first woman in so many things that it doesn't really matter. And each one of them is because I'm nice. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me enormous pleasure now to welcome second speaker for the affirmative, Wendy Machin.
Ladies and gentlemen, nice girls do finish second. It's nice to be nice, but unless a girl is more than nice, she'll always finish second. And Kathy, no formula will ever change that. How would you feel if you went for a job, you walked out of it and your prospective employer said, well, she was nice? Ladies, what about you're all dressed up for work? You've got a new suit or you're going out on a date, fabulous new dress on, and you say to your bloke, "How do I look?" And he looks at you and he says, "Nice." Nice helps, but it's not enough on its own. A girl will need some drive, some intelligence, some passion, some commitment. When I Google successful women, I get lots of information, and one of the top names to come up is Hillary Clinton. The article revealed that in 1996, Hillary and Bill were leaving Little Rock in the presidential motorcade. They drove past a rundown garage in her old hometown, and she told Bill that she had once dated the man that ran that garage. Bill chuckled and said, "Amazing. If you'd married him, you'd be the wife of a garage proprietor." "No, Bill," she said. "If I'd married him, he'd be president." So let's look closer to home. Our Julia. For the first time in this nation's history, we did have a woman Prime Minister. How did she get that role? By being nice? By being passive? Was she nice to poor old Kev? He clearly doesn't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, nice is as nice does, but it will never get you to the top. As Maggie Thatcher said, if you just set out to be liked, you'd be prepared to compromise on anything at any time and you would achieve nothing. Let's face it, who has ever heard of a nice girl winning anything? And as for me, well, I do have the corner office. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure now to welcome our second speaker for the negative, Catherine Fox.
Thank you. I think we've lost the plot, actually. And actually, I've been watching you all, and there's not one nice girl here. And I don't know any of you, but I know that for a fact. I want to talk to you today a little bit about that workplace, because that's where I'm from. And that's where I spend a lot of my time concentrating. But before I do, I want to talk to you about one of the girls in my home. They're all teenagers, so we're having an interesting time. In fact, we're doing the HSC. So earlier this week, as we frequently do, we had a conversation about politics, which involved her saying, "What's happening with the election again?" I said, "Sadly, there'll be fewer women in the House of Reps, inevitably." And she said, "Oh, why?" And I started to explain a little bit about the Liberals and National Party having fewer female candidates. And out of the blue, she said to me, "Mum, is Barnaby Joyce a man?" When I stopped laughing and she seemed slightly miffed, she said, "Well, it's just, I know Barnaby, I know the name, I've never seen the person, and sounds like a character from an Agatha Christie novel." I said, "Honey, Joyce is the surname." So I haven't brought up nice girls, I suspect. I've certainly brought up some who are politically unaware. But I have to say, I don't want them to be nice girls. I'm glad they're not here to hear this. And I was thinking about the opposite to the nice girl. And I've recently watched the movie It's Complicated. And I must say, my favourite line in the movie, she said, "Turns out I'm a bit of a slut." If we called a man a slut, what would we be doing? Complimenting him. "Mate, you're a bit of a slut." "Oh, thanks." Look, whatever way we turn with women, the language and the stereotypes box us in. My sister and I call this the push, push, push. In that last phase of childbirth, there's a stage where all the people gathered around the bed say to you, "Push, push, push." "Oh, you push too much. We're going to have to give you stitches now." This happens all the time to women in the workplace, which is why... Stitches. All the time. "You're not aggressive enough. You didn't put your hand up for the pay rise." Well, you know what happens when we put our hand up for the pay... Pushy bitch. She's ambitious. I wanted to talk to you a little bit, though, more about these silly sort of ways we box ourselves in with stereotypes at work. And I thought the best way of doing that was to quote from an email sent to me by a reader. And she's the managing director of a firm. And she said, "Look, this gender question, I hear about it all the time, but I wanted to go and ask the guys I work with and actually say to them, what do you think's hampering women in the workplace?" She said, these are some of their comments. "Women tend towards emotion rather than logic." Mark Latham, I hear you. "Women build relationships on the exchange of personal data, and men build relationships on the exchange of business data." Oh, that'd be the rugby conversation. You didn't know that was business data, did you? "Women just want to get the job done." Oh, that's where you've all been going wrong. all I can conclude is there are no such things as nice girls. We know that. And we know in the workplace nice girls will never get anywhere. If we tried to be nice girls, we wouldn't be on the team. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you wish to support Mia Freedman, Wendy Machin and Peter Fitzsimons? Do you think these are the winners of the debate? If so, clap now. Or do you wish to support Cathy Foley, Catherine Fox and Lisa Wilkinson? If so, clap now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we give it absolutely to the negative team. Please give them another round of applause.